Maul or Nothing.
Max, what is this week's theme?
This week's theme are all things rugby tours.
Oh, tours.
Straight in, Hasto, best tour you've ever been on?
Best tour I've ever been on, I think, has to be my first summer tour. We went Vancouver, Houston, and Resistencia in Argentina, which is a bit of a
Nah, I wasn't there.
yeah. It was a bit of a shithole, for lack of a better word, the last place. But yeah, it was just awesome because I'd been capped. No, I hadn't been capped. So it was my debut against Canada in Vancouver or Edmonton. Then we played America. I actually got beat off America in my second cap, and then we pumped a really good Argentinian team in Resistente. It was like a football ground that had a cage around the ground.
Oh, yeah.
But it was awesome. It was kind of my first taste of international rugby and touring. And then obviously at the end there was a massive night out. We went
Just at the end, yeah.
yeah, just at the end.
Yeah.
We went into Resistente, and basically when we pulled up to the hotel, it was basically in the middle of the shanty town, and there was just this massive hotel. There was dogs running around the lobby, so that was kind of the scene that was set. Anyway, we got back to the hotel and they organised like a council bus to take us to this nightclub. So we were on this council bus, everyone's ringing the bell to get off. Anyway, we get to this club and we arrive at like 11 p.m. and it's a tiny kind of bar this size, and there was no one in there, and we were just like, oh, this is a bit crap. So anyway, we started getting leveled. Literally 1 a.m. on the dot, in pours just some of the finest South American women you've ever seen in your life, just straight in. And then this place got absolutely filled to the brim. Got to about 1:30, and there was these curtains at the back of the room, and they just pulled these curtains apart, and it was just like reggaeton music blaring in this massive warehouse. And we just went in there, and I think it was one of the best nights of my life.
This sounds like the set of a Bond movie.
It was
Do you know what I mean?
literally
So
unbelievable.
But that's what they say about Argentina. For every one man, there's like 5 women in the clubs.
Oh, mate, it was ridiculous. So anyway, we went out that night, didn't go to bed, got the council bus home. Anyway, we got to the airport, and everyone was smashed, and we were sitting waiting at our gate, and Mark Bennett's going all white. Or he's yellow, he's got jaundice. Anyway, he throws up everywhere, all over his feet. So he tidies it all up. Everyone's pissing themselves at him. Literally, he has scooped the last bit of sick off the ground, and he just projectiles straight onto himself again. But it was just awesome. Got back from that tour, and then I think I went to Ibiza the next day. That was my first time in Ibiza.
Summer
as well,
tours are the best, aren't they?
mate, it
Summer
was
tours
amazing.
were like, because the pressure's off. It's like a few guys getting their first caps. There's always
Yeah.
that little bit of it.
No, it was awesome.
And like you are a single man still, aren't you?
Yep.
You were a single man in Canada,
Yep.
then America, then Argentina.
Yeah. It was just
Having
good
fun with the boys.
One of my favourite ones, it wasn't actually a tour. I was thinking about it in the car here, actually. It was your 50th cap.
That was,
Against
it
France.
was COVID times as well.
Yeah. It was COVID times, and anyway, we went over to France and beat them away. And Will Scott, you've told that story, haven't you? Your 50th cap.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Basically
obviously
won it.
Will Scott's 50th, and we couldn't go out because it was COVID. So we were all a bit gutted, but it actually turned out to be amazing. And we just got levelled in the hotel all night. Didn't go to bed. And it was just
What
incredible.
was that thing they're putting on the bottles? Remember that thing that you?
I've
got a video of that. You
what is it
drinking
called?
that?
Yeah. What
and it
was
makes it's
A
like, you know,
Super,
like
yeah.
straw pedo,
Yeah.
but it's like a
It like
there's
makes
a
it happen.
contraption. It's like you just plug onto the top of a
And it
thing,
vortexes it.
Yeah,
Oh,
Vortex, that's it.
and
yeah.
it just boom done. It
right.
weirdly quick, like just unbelievable.
We've heard it from Wilson's perspective and how, you know, bit of luck involved with his 50th and injuries and whatnots. But from the perspective of his teammates and his friends, you know, how was it?
It was so funny, mate, because we were just like, he was coming in, and what were we training against Glasgow or something?
Yeah.
What was it, a team run?
You were no, it was just the
like
last
a
training
Wednesday
session
session.
against Glasgow. Yeah, on
and
the
then
Thursday.
Obviously, Wilson was just like doing his usual, just wind up merchant shit, trying to piss off Duan van der Merwe. And he
Trying?
just, like,
What do you mean trying?
Yeah.
I fully completed.
And then
it.
what happened? Did you chop faggot?
Mate,
Did you chop faggot?
No, I told Fotu Loka Tui.
Oh, yeah,
Gregor,
Fotu.
when Gregor says it's shoulders on, he means it's like
Yeah.
full contact.
Yeah.
Yes, I said so. Fotu, do not let them disrespect you in the carnival. It's just riling the
Honestly,
they
mate.
do not respect you, Fotu, and he is absolutely like they're like, right, boys, shoulders on, and I'm just looking, and I've seen like Fotu's
Red
eyes light up, and he is demolished Matt Fagerson.
Yeah.
Broke his ankle.
Did he break his ankle?
He did something to his ankle and he couldn't go, could he? And he
You
was
were the
done.
architect of his
And I was
demise.
just like, oh no.
But it was so funny because like
Oh no! I've lost
after the training session, I was like, kind of whispers started, Wills is coming. And I was like, no, he's not. No, he's fucking not. And then literally we get into lunch. We were like all on the bus. Beck's pulled up with your passport. And Wills is just running up with us like fucking ear to ear.
With
It's so
Magnus
funny.
Bradbury's kit on because Maggie wasn't there, but there was some left. I had MB on all my kit.
It was so funny. But it was just such a good day because like we won in the last minute. It was just mental. And then we just had the night that we had. Then we were up there playing the next day.
We were carrying on. We carried on the next day, let's just say.
good.
I treated it like it was my last and it was my last.
and
I
that's
knew,
fair.
I knew boys, it's been 2 years. This ain't happening again. I'm going to have a good time.
Oh wow!
That was good, though.
Yeah.
And Tooney was so relaxed. I was like, what's going on here? He was
mate.
relaxed. I think I fell asleep in the team room and he outlasted me and it was like his claim to fame. He was like, well,
Oh, mate. But you remember
what
those,
else did you
don't
last
you?
night? But
Even
yeah.
like holidays, like I remember when I was at Bath my last year at Bath, Dents and Priestland took me to Marbella.
Oh god!
Took the
That
academy
would've been
boys
good.
to Marbella. And like I'd never been on a lads holiday. I'd been to Zante with like a bunch of 16-year-olds, like however old we were. But
When you
I
were
was
16.
yeah. So
Otherwise,
let's
it's
clarify
just
that.
sounds awful.
Dense and priest.
Mate, I was 19. I think I was earning 830 quid a month. And I remember I gave Dave Denton 50 quid every day. And that was it. And he paid for everything. I remember I spilt half a Corona in the pool and I was like, that's €6. Just gone. I was like scooping it up.
He's a good boy, Dens.
Oh, but he reminds me of that every time. I think I owe him about 8 grand from that trip all in all. It was mental. It was just amazing. It was so fun.
Like we had summer tours. There was some good ones. Did you do the one to Singapore?
Nah, it was the year before.
Oh, that was next level.
Yeah.
Like you just couldn't beat them because obviously World Cups there was so much around it and so much pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got to summer tours, it was almost like the holiday before your holiday.
Yeah.
Which is terrible to say, like because it's
They
not
are
a
test
holiday.
matches.
But we played Italy and Singapore. We beat them. Then we flew to Sydney, played Australia, beat Australia in Sydney, and then flew to Fiji and lost to Fiji at the end because we were all so hungover by the end.
We had one when we went to South Africa that first year Renz was coach, or the second year he was coach. And basically we played the Cheetahs and the Kings. So we beat the Cheetahs the first week and we'd done really well. They were a decent team. And then we were playing the Southern Kings
At
the week
altitude,
after.
it was the toughest point you
Like
could
we
go.
did real well. Like they were proud. And then second week we were playing Southern Kings and they were absolute dog meat. Like awful, mate. Like a pub team, mate.
Hadn't want to get
Like literally, and we were like, we're gonna roll these. Anyway, we flew to Cape Town the start of the first week, and like boys were just straight out right. So I was in with like a few of the older. It was like Ollie Keble and me, Hugh Jones, and I was with obviously Ollie Keble's big time in Cape Town. So he was like, we've got this first bar. So we rock into this first bar. I think it was like 10 o'clock. I'm first through the door. I just seen Kenny Murray, the defence coach, and the analyst sitting at the bar, and I was like, oh my god! Went to turn around and walk out. Jamie Batty walked in. Kenny! Just big high five. Kenny's like, what? And then we just got nailed. Anyway, it gets to the weekend. We got absolutely hosed.
We were 35-0 down at half time.
Yeah.
35-0 down.
that ended some boys' careers, that
Oh
game.
my
Yeah, they didn't see a
God,
game
man.
for like 2 years after that. But anyway.
Ren's great. I remember Ren's coming in at
No,
half
and then
time.
no, he came in at full
furious.
time and he was like, "You boys have been on the piss all fucking week." And Kenny Murray was just standing behind him, like, staring at the floor. And I was looking at Kenny like, "Ah, you fucking idiot!" It was so funny.
Oh, it was a good
no.
trip though. I remember the morning after because me and Cab planned to go because we went out after it as well. Didn't we? Boys
Oh
went
yeah,
out
we
for some
did that
reason.
night. 1 o'clock curfew, the one night. Friends was good with that. You still get beaten. We'd have a 1 o'clock curfew.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
Yeah, that's
I've only heard
is
good
he
things.
one of your favourite coaches?
Oh mate, he's like the best bloke ever. It was funny. I was saying to Will, we had Steve Hansen as the World 15 coach when I was playing in that game against the Babas in the summer, and they're like the same bloke. They're just like, they just know what they're doing. You know what I mean? They just rock up and you just instantly respecting them. They're just
they get you,
unreal.
You get them.
He was
straight
just
away.
brilliant for a lot of boys,
that's
wasn't he?
world
I mean, they're obviously gonna not be some boys' favourites, but for most of us, he was class, wasn't he?
Yeah, I loved them. I'm trying to think of other tours that I've been on. We were so lucky, like URC. You
Yeah.
were so lucky because obviously now there's 4 South African teams, so you get to go away. And even like, remember, were you there when we played Zebe and Treviso?
Yeah.
We played the 2 Italian teams back to back.
Yeah.
And we went over there for a whole weekend.
Oh,
we
no,
went
no,
there for
no.
a whole week. Like we've done it when we played the Italian teams back to back, and you would go over there and play one, and then actually stay in Italy for the week, and then play the next one. There's no point coming back. And like that's the way I think the URC is so good, because you get to travel the world. Like that's what I love most about playing, was going on tours.
Oh man, URC sounds so fun.
Going on tours and being able to go and see the world. Obviously, Scotland, you got to do it like at times, and it was a bit more strict. But with club rugby, doing that just makes sense. Even like trips, even like going to Ireland every other weekend, and like nights out in Galway, and
That's why the guys on the Sevens tours must just be having the time of their lives, no?
I don't know. Do they have as much fun as I feel like they're? I feel like they're almost more professional than 15s players.
Can't be. They're doing like Hong Kong and stuff. Like they just get
Cool going out in Vegas for that.
Yeah, their destinations are like. All right. Hey, so best tourist that you've ever played with, I guess.
Who did you used to room with when you were on tour?
Yeah, Blair all the time.
Every time, without fail.
Every time Blair Kinghorn.
That got weird. That
I've
room.
heard he's a good tourer.
He's a great lad, mate.
Top door.
Yeah, I've had some good nights out with Blair. I think I'll have to go with him. Blair and Maggie, actually.
Yeah, better lad
apparently
now he's
they're,
rich.
they're the dynamic duo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. What about that? Toulouse.
Yeah, mental, innit?
Holy cash.
And he's engaged now. Congrats, mate. Blair Kinghorn engaged.
Ooh.
Is that why he's moved to pay for the wedding? He's got. I gotta go, guys. I gotta get more.
You boys. I remember you boys getting pretty weird. It was always pretty odd. You were always up to.
I'd say, yeah,
Something.
on that Scotland stuff, because it was when we kind of started coming through, it was mainly us three. George Horn was involved. But like in Japan, it was me, Maggie, and Blair would be heading out a lot of the time, especially because we weren't playing as much. But it was good fun.
Who's the worst tourist?
Alan Dell. I roomed with him that first week.
That's quick.
No, honestly, it
finger on
was
a buzzer.
Incredibly
honestly,
quick.
good bloke, but I roomed with him the first time I roomed with him. I'd never met him, and he was just ripping farts through the night like you would not believe.
You don't need that.
One of those boys, like the boys, when they get up in the middle of the night, they turn the light on and piss standing up. Like
Sit down wees always.
yeah.
That's
I had to have a chat
diplomatic.
with Sammy Johnson about that actually. During World Cup pre-season, he got up, light on, piss standing up, and I had a word with him. Never again. Lights off, sit
But
down.
that's fine. Like as long as
But
you
yeah,
hash it
Alan
out.
Dell, yeah, it's horrible to room with.
Yeah, there's nothing worse. You know when you go on tour, and we were pretty lucky. Like we used to, people would be like, oh,
But you were
coaches
barked.
would choose, and you would pick. And even if you had it, let's say you go and they'd messed it up, you'd be like, no, that ain't happening. You out, and everyone ends up back together. It's got to be that way, right?
Yeah.
Would you expect that, Max? Did you think that, like, is that what happens when you go on away trips? Do you room with the same person every time?
Who's your
Yeah, I
roommate at
like
Bristol?
Jake Wilmore. I like to room with him. We've got a good thing.
It's important. It's because you're effectively living with it, especially when you're away for so long. You've got to get on.
Yeah,
I remember when they tried to mix it up a bit, and boys are just like straight to edgy, straight to the
Well, we
manager.
did that
and
in
be like,
World Cup.
Nah,
and
it
it was
happened.
just like, yeah. I was supposed to room with Ben White, and Blair just came in and threw his stuff on the floor and got in bed and didn't get out.
But it's crazy, and like even to the extremes. I remember the 2015 World Cup. Everyone went out and bought a TV, and we all had TVs in our room, and we would all play FIFA and like play big competitions and stuff because you effectively live away from home for like 4, 5, 6 weeks at a time. So it's trying to get all those home comforts and stuff like that. What do you used to take your PlayStation with you, didn't you?
Yeah,
Anytime you went into camp.
Yeah, the camp. Loads of boys did that. It was mental. I can't really remember what we did in Japan though. We just played indoor cricket.
Onsen.
A lot of cricket.
Onsens.
Onsens.
Just shaving each other's
Well,
swords.
we need to get onsens. So talking about the onsens, how good were the onsens
Yeah, they
in
were
Japan?
unbelievable. Yeah, you just go in, everyone's free as a bird. Birthday suits on, not far off that actually.
Thank you for the reminder.
And you just end up shaving every part of your body, wouldn't you?
Well, you just had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So when you because you go in there,
I'm
and-
sure there's. I'm sure.
Which is a hot tub
to
steam
do.
room.
Not
Then
like that.
shave
I
each
don't
other.
mean that. I
Have you
mean,
been in them? Yeah.
every time you go to an
no,
onsen, it's like a sauna, steam rooms, and lovely like hot pools. But the first thing you do is when you go in, you almost wash down. Don't you? You get
Yeah,
naked,
yeah.
and then you have to like wash yourself before you go in, which is quite. That's
It's
nice.
really
That's the way it should be.
therapeutic. Yeah.
But there's like combs and you can brush your teeth. But then there's razors, so you're like, oh, you have a little shave.
And you're
and
sat
like, I
on
might
these
as well.
tiny little stools. Yeah,
By the end, no one had a pube in sight. Like no player in the team had a pube in
like
sight.
anywhere.
It was bald.
We were the slippiest team. at the World
We were
Cup.
the slippiest team going.
The slippiest.
Hide like a dolphin. Yeah.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And then
Yeah.
you just went in there and everyone was just walking around bollock
Most
naked.
well groomed I've ever
That's
been.
where I got rubbed down by the little 90-year-old man. with the salt thing. Yeah, I told you that, haven't I?
No. What?
I've told you about that.
No.
I went in
Have you
with
told Bex about
Bro, that wasn't part of the facilities.
it's not rubbed down there, like rub it. So we went in and there was this big bowl of salt, and it's me, Finn, Hoggy, Grieg, and we're all sat in there, and there's a big bowl of salt in the middle of like the sauna, and we're like, what's that? And it's like any normal 26, 27-year-old, pick up a handful and just start throwing at each other, until this like 95-year-old Japanese man walks in, like leather skin, about that tall. And he's just like looked at salt. Everyone's got their heads down. Obviously, no one's trying to make eye contact. And I've clocked eyes, and he's gone hey, and pointed at the salt. And I'm like, what's he wanting here? And he's like hey, and pointed at his back. And I was like, what is going on? And he wants me to rub salt on his back. So
on his back?
Yeah, on his back.
Did you do it?
Well, yeah, I thought maybe it's good luck.
I need that.
Oh, we got Japan coming up in a few weeks.
Yeah, so I don't
Big
think it was
game.
good luck, was it?
No,
in the
well,
end?
so I rubbed him down with a bit of salt. It was pretty weird.
Yeah, no,
And,
it sounds
the
somewhat
boys
sensual.
are gone, so no one can like. They're all like proper giggles, and then he's gone hey, and made me turn around. I'm like, what's going on here? He wanted to rub me down with the salt, so rubbed me down with a bit of salt, and that was it.
We've never heard this.
That's a brilliant. That's
So you rubbed down a 95-year-old who then sort of reciprocated the rub down.
Bollock naked.
Merry Christmas, everyone out there.
What a Christmas special.
Lovely Christmas.
I was like a salt baked sea bass by the end.
Jesus.
tender and
Right.
crispy.
I love Japan.
More or nothing.